Welcome to this week's edition of Kicking It with Coach. As you can see, we're on site. Actually, we're in the softball offices, and I got the pleasure of sitting in head coach Mark Smith's office, and we'll talk about him a little bit later. First of all, I want to throw a shout out to all the people, Halloween, all the trick-or-treaters. I got to tell you, the best dressed person, costume for McNeese, Matthew Bonnet, the new SID here at McNeese. He trick-or-treated in my neighborhood, and I got to say, Matt, yeah, you looked great. Okay, as we said, this is softball week. They're coming off their non-competitive season. Well, kind of non-competitive season. Coach Katie on my right, Coach James on my left. Stand up, guys. Show them the uniforms. Come on, you guys stand up here. They're sporting McNeese softball gear. You notice me, I've got McNeese gear on. Now, some of you might ask, why the gear? Well, first of all, we got to tell you that there was a big softball contest, and well, since there's no betting in the NCAAs as coaches, we can't do that. Young people, if you ever grow up to be a coach, no betting. So kind of the thing is they wanted to come on, and there's reasons why we don't have the other coaches on. I'll tell you that later. But they wanted to come on, promote softball, and talk about, you know, their little contest that they had here, the inter squad. So we're going to get to that shortly. Next thing though, I want to make sure you guys got out and voted today. Really important day, voting. That's why we're airing on Wednesday and not Tuesday. So I hope you voted yesterday. So if you did, I'm glad you did. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the contest you guys had. And I'm going to let Katie, we're going to start off with you first. And Coach, just a little bit about how the teams were selected and the coaches were selected. Share that with the crowd.
All right, well, the four coaches of us, we're missing Coach Smith and Coach Joe. We sat down and we had a draft. We picked by position, and then whoever picked that position got to make the first pick for that.
Now, was it 2 out of 3? Was it 3 out of 5? What was it?
It was going to be 2 out of 3.
How'd you guys do?
Yeah, we go for 2. Not so good.
That's why Coach Smith is the head coach?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
Perfect. Now, second thing.
Happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Second thing, James, this one's for you, and I got to throw, because this is my favorite part of the whole, when I came over watched you guys play, you know, there's some things that really stood out. But right off the bat, I thought the names of the teams were really cool. McNeese Blue and McNeese Gold. How did those names come up?
Didn't really notice that until you said something.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I heard the PA announcer saying it.
Did I?
Yeah,
I didn't know that difference.
So I was wondering how.
I think it's just a difference in how people speak around here. Some people call it McNeese. Very few people call it McNeese. But you Northerners, it's a little different for you guys and West Coast people. So
yeah,
it's right. It's an adjustment for you guys. We understand.
Well, I thought that was pretty cool. Now going into the next part of that. Now, Coach said that you guys went 0-2.
Yes,
a couple plays stand out to me that I have to ask you about, and Coach, you might want to jump in and share with it, because it's got to be tough when a coach is making a mistake that I think cost the team during the event. I noticed at one point in game 1 you were arguing with the umpire, and I have to be honest, the crowd, pretty much everybody down the right field line agreed with the umpire.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was your angle or not, but. Boy, I thought it really hurt the team at that point when you were arguing with the umpire. What happened there?
I don't know. Explain to me what call that was.
Pretty much every call that didn't go your way.
Is that how I didn't notice that then. You said you just brought out one call.
What do you think, Coach?
You said one call cost us a play.
I think we handled it pretty well. We were just complimenting the umpire. I know you've done that. You've talked about that before on your show. Giving the ref a congratulatory.
So when you run out and your face gets red and your veins, it's
oh, I'm so excited. Yeah. That's
obviously the same thing, because he was
he's very excited. Yeah.
Now I noticed you guys had and I'm going to have to ask you this, Coach, because I thought this in game 1 played a major part. I mean, the score was 2-1 at the end, right?
I believe so.
You have to ask this question. You guys had a rally going. I think it was bases loaded. You had scored a run earlier, and wrong lineup.
Did that happen?
What happened there, Coach?
I don't think it did.
No.
Well, I think that's a totally misunderstanding. I think that's a misunderstanding.
So when you walk out to the home plate and somebody goes, "Hey,"
oh, I know exactly what you're talking. It's not your fault. It's kind of hard to hear from up there what's going on, especially when you turn around talking most of the time. But so it's hard to pay attention. But let me explain to you what happened. When we had, the girl's name is Heather Hummel. She had a tight hamstring going in. As she came in, she dove for a ball to play
It was a
before.
great catch,
When
too.
she made a
Very
great catch, got us in, as she came in, her hamstring was pulled. So the trainer had her on the side. Trainer advised us not to hit, but she was already in the current lineup. So when I walked over and asked Coach and him what to do, Coach Harden said that we needed to go ahead and take an out. So that's why we were charging out in that situation.
Oh, so
There's nobody actually batted out of line. We just were not, our player was not able to participate.
care for the athletes.
Absolutely,
we
for
value
athletes
their health.
first.
Absolutely.
We
You know
value
what?
their health
All right,
over
then
competition.
I'm going to say,
Yes.
you know what? That's quality coaching right there, guys.
We
Quality
look
coaching.
out for our players.
Absolutely.
Now, game 2. Now, game 1 was tight.
Yes.
Coach, what happened in game 2?
You know, we didn't hit. You know, there's part of the game. There's offense and defense. You know, and
There is.
we don't hit, then we don't have an offense. So pretty simple.
Huh.
Who's the hitting coach on this right here?
That would be me.
Okay.
I take full responsibility. I like the production and all that. You know, Terry, I just think in that game we just got outperformed a little bit. You know, we had some opportunities. We didn't get big hits. They did. We made mistakes, and they went ahead and took advantage of the mistakes. They just outplayed us that game. It happens sometimes. I'm sure you're aware. You're a coach.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good. You know, the whole thing is we don't live and die off of one game. Our season career is not made off of it. So
All right,
we'll move on.
Speaking of season, what do you think? How do you think? You know, I mean, where are you guys looking at? How do you think the team this year? How did the non-competitive season go? If that's what you call it in softball, how do you guys feel about the upcoming season?
Looking forward to it. I think we've got a good group of girls working hard, and they're all putting in their time, going through some tough conditioning right now, and they're all pushing through really well.
No, same thing. I think we have some depth in some positions. We've got a lot of young kids out there right now. If we can stay healthy, you know, we have a bright future. But, you know, if our young kids step up and play well, let's have a good season.
All right, coaches, I have to ask this question. Since yesterday was election day, you know, if you had one thing that you could change, you know, if you were the president, one thing you could change. You know, I was thinking about this. The one thing I think I'd change is that on your birthday, it'd be tax-free. Everything you bought, didn't matter what it was, tax-free, everything on your birthday. Coach, what would you change?
You know, kind of thinking about that. I like to order things online. I think there should be no shipping costs. Everything you could ship for free, anywhere in the world, anywhere in the States. I think that would be a good one.
Coach?
Terry, I'm just going to tell you, harsher penalties for guys that drive in the left lane and hold up traffic. That just bothers me all day long. Get over to the right, Ron. Get over to the right side so we can pass you up.
You should have like a paint gun mounted on your car. Yeah, when they do that, just
absolutely.
that'd be awesome. I'm with you on that one.
Man, we need to.
I'll be your vice president on that one.
There you go.
Last thing, I know what you guys are thinking. Where's head coach Mike and coach Joe? Well, first of all, you know, a couple of episodes back, you know, there was a snake in Mike's house, and he was recruiting. Yeah, he's doing some counseling to get over his fear of snakes. So that's where he's at tonight. And Coach Joe, basically, she's out working with the pitchers because that's what won them those 2 games. So she's out there right now working with the pitchers. Plus, we really didn't invite her. So that's it for this week's edition of Kicking It with Coach. Next week we'll be back in the office. We got a ton of questions from Halloween that we've kind of put aside. And one of the things next week is that I know one of the questions you're really going to like because it's going to involve my assistant. She's got to help me out on that one. So you guys have a great week, and go Cowgirl Volleyball. Dig it.